Welcome to another episode of Indigenous Survival. I'm your host, Jeff Gibson. Tonight, that's why I waited to tonight to show you this. I want to talk about signaling. I will do one on daylight with the signal mirrors and stuff like that, but that's kind of old hat. Everybody kind of knows about signaling with the mirror, but I will demonstrate that one a little later. But here's one that most people don't think about. Let's say you're out hiking. You're going to hike a certain distance. You let loved ones know that where you're at, and you know they can track you by GPS and stuff like that. And let's say you haven't moved for a while. Your spouse gets a little worried because you haven't budged in over a day. Decides to call in search and rescue and says, hey, I think something's wrong with my husband, wife, whoever. And you know, they do look for you at night too. Also on cloudy days. This little trick works equally well, but I did it. I chose tonight to do this because of being dark and more to demonstrate how effective it is. And that is, I grabbed some orange paracord from home. Okay, I do happen to like orange for the bright yellows for paracord because it is visible. You know, that's not natural. So, you know, a lot of uses right there. Another thing is, I carry these with me, not personally on me, but they're in my bag all the time. But right now I just grabbed them out of my thing. These little kids snap lights, I'm sure you've seen them. These are, get them at, I think they're called party sticks. There's so many different names. I got these at Walmart. I think you get like 50 or 30 or so in a big bag. I just throw some. I carry these for multiple reasons. They're like $8 to $10 at Walmart. They may be so-called party lights, but they do fit in great. And one thing I do like for these, night fishing in a survival situation, these work as floats, as bobbers. But the light helps draw the fish. So there's your little tip. Okay, let me just set this out of the way. Just take your paracord, tie it through. I didn't have time to burn these edges, but just burn these, just feed it through. Quick little knot. Because trust me, even on a cloudy day, and if search and rescue is looking for you, this is going to increase your chances big time. Just tie that on there good and tight. Hell, if you want, I'll just do this real quick. Take out your multi-tool, which you should have on you anyway. Get to the pliers. Now you want a good amount of cord, because I'll show you why. Let me pick these up. I'm sorry, let me get these out of my way. Go back in here real quick. Okay. Now it's tied on. Just snap it. Give it a good shake. Make sure it's glowing. Okay. Do this. Trust me. You hear a plane, a helicopter over, they're going to see that. Because that's not natural. Then if you don't want to stand there like that, you just keep going like this. See? Even on overcast days, they're going to see this. Plus, if you're yelling, I mean, obviously a plane ain't going to hear you yell. Chopper ain't going to hear you yell, but if there's ground crew and you hear them, you know, this on an overcast day or even at night and you're yelling, they're going to see this. This ain't natural in nature. So that's going to be something that's going to draw their attention. You know, it's a good signaling device at night. And also another little thing you can do with them, if you are, because these will burn, stay glowing for, I think, 4 to 6 hours. If you marked your bathroom, I know this may sound a little funny, but you got to think of sanitation also in the field. If you marked an area off for your bathroom, it's away from your tent, or your shelter, I should say. You could put a couple of these out at night, 2 or 3. One where your camp is, and then one where your bathroom is. That way at night, you got to get up. You're not stumbling around in the dark to go. And personally, what I would do is I would make them 2 different colors. I would put a green one out like this, out where my bathroom is, and maybe a blue one by my tent, my shelter. Why? Hey, it just helps you in the middle of the night. You jump up. I don't know about you, but middle of the night you jump up to go to the bathroom. You know, you're not exactly awake, you know, and fumble around trying to find a light switch and stuff like that. Just think about it. You got that. You know, put on a little piece of paracord like that, dangling one from your shoulder, one from your bathroom area. Just makes it a little more convenient. I mean, since you already, if you have them with you, like I do, I carry a couple dozen of these in my bag. Why? One is fishing lures, you know, fishing bobbers, because they are very buoyant. I could take you down to the creek here in a moment and throw this in on this paracord and show you. And as a matter of fact, I may do that while I'm out here tonight, just so you can see it. But it does attract fish. It does attract fish. It's kind of night fishing, but yeah, is it legal? I mean, they have bobbers that have these in them. So instead of having a bobber that has it in it, use the same thing. But yeah, I mean, it's just an idea that while you have them, like I said, I don't know about everybody else. I'm pretty good at knowing where stuff is in my bathroom. But you jump up in a hurry because you're out of a dead sleep, you know, you're asleep, and you got to go pee, or you got to go take a crap. Jump up out of bed. I usually step on a dog or 2 of mine, and everything else before I get to the door to go out of my room to go to the bathroom. So instead of a flashlight, that's just something you don't have to carry. You know, you already got it with you. Use them. If you just want to use one, hang it where your bathroom is, that's fine if you want to do that. I did hey, you know what? I'll use 2. One where my shelter is, a different color, and a totally different color where my bathroom facility is. Because you don't want to crap near your shelter, right outside your shelter. You know, you get up in the morning, step out and step right in your crap. That's nasty. Matter of fact, watch alone, it has happened. On Dual Survival it did. One person got so lazy, they just stuck their butt basically outside their little shelter, and next morning one of them steps in it. I wouldn't want to. So follow me in a second. I'm going to take you down the creek and show you what I mean by it makes a hell of a floater, hell of a bobber. And like I said, it does attract. If you tie it up here, you know, it just bangs on there. You've got your fishing line down there, and if you're setting it up with a spring pole trap that doubles as a auto fisherman, that's just going to help you catch fish. So follow me out to the creek real quick. All right. I'm sorry for the weird view, but my wife's up on the bridge. She has her foot's a little sore, so I left her up there. So anyway, give you an idea. I'm at the bank of the creek here. See, it floats. Makes a good bobber. So I thought I'd show you that yes, it does float. It'll sit there all night long. If you have an auto fit, if I had this rigged up to a spring pole L7 trap, that it would be standing right here working. Of course, I'd probably throw it further out from this bank than I got this, but hopefully in the morning I come down here to check my trap. I got a nice, even a nice bluegill would be nice breakfast. So, especially if you did some wild foraging and found some edible berries that's in season. So, I just wanted to show you guys that it does float very well. I know there's people out there who think that, oh, it probably don't float. That's why I wanted to show it. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk out just to show you exactly one more time how effective this is as a signal. I know I talked about two other things when I did say this about signaling, but sometimes, you know, when you're dealing with certain items, you do try to cram as much information in it as possible. So since I had the light already snapped and everything like that, I did want to tell you about using it as a marker. And just think, it's still a signaling device even as a marker, because, you know, if somebody is out looking for you and they are looking for you at night, that would be a lot easier to see dangling from a tree, especially if there's two of them. I do know everybody should know this, that the international signal is three of something. 3 marks in a, 3 logs laid side by side, 3 gunshots, 3 whistles, 3 yells. You know, it's the international 3, but if you're only carrying a couple of dozen of these, you don't want to waste them. So I'm just figuring using it just as a marker to where my bathroom is, to where I know, and like I said, personally I would use 2. One at my shelter and one at my, unless I got a campfire going, which if you're asleep, it's not going to maintain all night. And honestly, I don't like sleeping with one going all night. I would rather put some sort of cover over top of it, like rock cover or something, to where the coals stay there, but I don't want to worry about starting a forest fire either. I don't want to wake up in my shelter surrounded by a fire. That's not going to save me. Oh yeah, it's going to draw attention and everything else, but by the time they get there, I may be dead from smoke inhalation or burned to death. It's not exactly how I want to be found. But anyway, what I'm going to do now, just to show you and give you an idea how effective this is, I'm going to walk a ways from my camera here, and I'm going to do the same thing I did a little bit ago, but to show you exactly how bright and how effective you can actually see this thing is. Okay, stay there. Still recording?
Yeah.
Okay. Now hopefully you've seen how effective that is. and also by varying the size of your cord as you spin it. So if you start small and then go out and then back, see, you're changing your, and it's the same speed you're twirling, but you're changing the speed that it spins, which is going to draw more attention. Okay? Because somebody might say, well, I don't know what that is. Maybe that's a bug flying around if it's really slow. But if you're constantly changing the pitch, the diameter, that's clearly not a bug. And there's really no bad way you can even spin this, okay? You can, this, whatever, it's going to draw attention. I would personally stay with spinning it circular, but, you know, doing something like this may work. Of course, it ain't gonna mean that may look like a bug doing something, but this definitely isn't. So just think about it. There's 3 uses I just told you about with this one little kid toy, because Halloween is coming up. These are out here dirt cheap because, you know, they put them on their kids and that as a, I don't know, I guess as some sort of safety device. I guess they have bigger ones, but these are going to be dirt cheap. And like I said, they're $8 to $10 right now at Walmart for a bag of 30. You can buy them at the dollar store, and they're like, you get like 4 or 5 in a bag. I'm gonna tell you something. I bought those. Those are kind of junk. And yeah, they're $1.25. They don't last that long. They don't have that much staying power. So yeah, for my money, I know my videos I say, you know, you don't have to spend a lot to do things, but some things, you know, if I get 2 hours for $1.25 and I get 5 of them and I spend $10 for 30 that last 6 hours, I'm going with the 30 of them for $10. I get more bang for my buck. And that's what survival is. You want to get as many uses as you can out of an item. Okay? I kind of like the Food Network a little bit. Sorry if I'm going somewhere you might not think I'm going to, but Alton Brown says and I agree with him as far as some things. It's a unit, you know, he hates unitaskers. If the thing only does one item, he don't want it in his kitchen. Well, you should also think that way in your, whatever you want to call it, your survival bag, you know, whether you call it your survival bag, your get out bag, whatever. If you've been watching my channel, you know I don't go in for names like that. I just call it my backpack, or I call the other one my tool bag, because that's where I mainly carry my tools, everything from my tomahawk, my machete, whatever. That stays in that bag until I need to put it on or whatever. I just find it more easier that way. Plus, it does carry a lot of other things, as you've seen in my other videos. But as you know, I don't care for calling things survival anything. Survival's in your head, not necessarily what you have. But when you do carry certain, you know, items, to me, it's got to do a few things before I consider it. And there's 3 items. Now, there's 3 things I can do with this one item. So yeah, that goes in my bag because of that reason. If it can only do one thing for me, nah, I'll pass every time. Because I'm not carrying something that can only do one thing. What if I don't need it for that? Then then that's weight that I'm carrying that I don't need. You know, you gotta play smart. You know, the old saying is play smart, not hard. You know, same thing applies. You know, if it only does one job, well, yeah, how many times am I going to need that one? Well, it might not. Well, then why carry it? You know? So, yeah, that's my point of that, is make sure it can do more than one thing. Preferably 2, 3, 4, you know, 3, 4, 5 things. If it only does 2, yeah, it better be 2 things that I'm going to use a lot. But if it's only 2, yeah, like I said, it better be something that I'm going to see myself reoccurring doing. But most of the time, I want to do 3, 4, 5 different things. It could even be, I just popped this into my head right now. This, if it's summer, this stupid thing that you might call stupid, hanging away on a tree somewhere away from me, not only is it still possibly signaling for people, but it could be used as a bug light. Keep those damn mosquitoes the hell over there. Mosquitoes are drawn to the yellows and that. Pop this sucker, set that in a tree, tie it to a branch first, pop it, do that little shake with it and leave it. Maybe the mosquitoes might leave me alone. Not saying they will. I'm not going to tell you. Do not say, hey, this guy on YouTube said use a snap light to get rid of mosquitoes. I did not say that. I said there's a good chance because growing up in my day, I'm old. We had yellow light bulbs. Those were bug bulbs. That's what they were sold as. You put them in your outdoor light, screwed them in, flipped the outside light on. The bugs were supposed to be attracted to that, and they kind of were. They made being outside a little bit more enjoyable or easier to deal with. So hey, guess what? Just popped in my head. Hang this sucker on a branch. Even if I don't want to tie it, just slide it through there because I just undid it. Hang it up on there. There's a good chance that this little thing might draw enough bugs away from your camp to stop you from itching all night. So at least you can sleep, because that is important in survival, is sleep. You got to stay clear-headed. Clear-headed, you got to be awake. Clear-headed, you got to, you want to stay, in order to be clear-headed, you got to get proper sleep. That is important. But hey, even if it doesn't really draw bugs away, I just hung that up in a tree. That's not normal. That's not a squirrel thing. That's not some bird doing that. If people are looking for you, once again, it comes back to signaling. They see that glowing and they go, hey, homie, what's that glowing in a tree? Nobody's going to say, well, maybe that means a squirrel's home or something. Nobody's doing that. This ain't a porch light for a bird. So they might say, hey, let's go over there and check that out. You may be set up over here. I might have put it up over there, 50 feet away. I can hear the rustling. I poke my head out to see, make sure it ain't a bear or something. And I hear people and say, hey, I'm over here. I just got rescued. So I do have some more coming up. I wanted to do this one at night, obviously for reasons. Do have others coming up. And once again, check out my the last video. I showed a water bottle that I'm intending on putting to sell. I showed some of my decals. I got more being made. I'm going to show those when I get them in. But remember to like and subscribe. I'd like to thank all my people that's helping me. I'd like to thank everybody that's subscribed to my channel so far. I hope you're finding this information useful, at least somewhat entertaining. And until my next video, I'll have a good night.